And we're on the air. What's up, ladies and germs?
There we are.
We are back for another Vampire the Masquerade. I just need to switch off Mr. Prince Taylor's logo there. So, welcome everybody. Bring that volume down just a little bit. What's up? Wednesday night went exceptionally well with our other vampire campaign, the Curse of Strahd. Different game set, however, but it went very, very well. The crew almost got themselves killed, which is always a bit of fun. Zadriel is still missing. Don't know where she is or whether she will be returning, but it made for an interesting session with a player down.
She's betrayed us. That's what it is.
But again, just to reiterate, exclamation point YT in the chat to get to the YouTube link where all VODs for all campaigns will be available. Very, very happy to see that we have had over 60 views on our last week's session 1 for VTM. So it's been received very, very well. So hopefully that continues with the rest of our sessions. We average sort of between 10 and 15 views on other VODs, which is to be expected. There's a lot of Curse of Strahd stuff out there. But yeah, so obviously there's a lot of vampire loves out there. So hopefully we'll keep things going. And obviously a decent thumbnail seemed to have helped. So that was always a good thing.
It's
So
the Camarilla making sure that we're not getting it too right.
yeah, exactly. Painkiller, what's up? So, as you guys can probably hear in the background, if you cannot hear the music, let me know. I can increase the volume on my end, but there should be some background audio going on tonight too, guys. Make sure that if my microphone volume is too loud to you guys in the stream, let me know. I want to try and keep everyone's voice around the same sort of volume. I noticed on the VOD that my microphone was really, really loud. So just bear that in mind, chat. If you do notice a huge discrepancy in volume, please sing out. Don't be afraid to let me know, because I really want to try and keep things on a decent level. But apart from that, I think should be pretty much good to go. Mike's good. Hopefully it's awesome in conjunction with everybody else as well. I need to fix Sadiq's face.
Yanti's been trying for years. So I don't
So
think
many things I could say.
No, it's the filter on his. I need to turn the filter off on his camera. He leans so far under his camera, the bottom of his face has been cut off.
Oh no, I'm reading text and it's really small. So
yeah, it's just easier to switch the filter off for this too. So here we go. We can actually see the face.
Oh no, make it stop.
Make it stop. Make it go away. Here we go. It's a bit better. All right, guys.
Oh, shut up, the Morton.
Someone get Tracy batteries for his hearing aid? Well, that too. That certainly helps. But he's a Malcav. He doesn't hear shit all anyway. So.
Exactly.
So
I hear everything. I just choose to ignore it.
Don't forget, guys, you also have channel points to give to your favorite kindred as well. The channel points are for a willpower roll. If you give your respective kindred a willpower roll, it will give them a free willpower roll on their next roll that they have. If they want to spend that free willpower roll, they get one free per game. So you can only give it out once. One per person, and I think there's a limit of 5 per session, so only 5 people are able to give it out. We've got 5 kindred, so only 5 kindred can get it, and we also have a chance to add an additional black die to their dice pool for their next roll as well. So 5 to the storyteller. No, that doesn't work that way, unfortunately. You can give it to the storyteller, but it's only 1 per kindred. So if you want to give it to the storyteller, it's up to you. But without any further ado, I think we shall turn it over to our storyteller now and get our recap from our previous session.
Oh, recap. Oh, yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah. What happened
I will
last week? I can't
apologise.
remember.
I will
We did
apologise
some
first
stuff
up.
and things, and then yeah.
We did. We'll go with that. That's our recap done.
Yep, that's it.
I just have to apologise over croaky throat tonight, so bear with me if I squeak all of a sudden. It's been happening a lot this afternoon. Anyway, previously in Melbourne, you were all attending the business owners' ball at one of the Camarillah's own private buildings. During that ball, it was announced that the local prince was in attendance, and he came out to give a pretty awesome speech, I must say. It gave note that the Anarch and the Sabbat had pushed into some of Melbourne's Camarillah domains. After the speech was completed, a small device dropped near the prince and sprayed some sort of accelerant, igniting a couple of the closer kindred on fire. Jaxon was pretty quick to protect the sheriff, who was ablaze after putting himself in the prince's way, whilst Aaron got an extinguisher over to Jaxon, and then he'd headed up the stairwell to get amongst the chaos and see where the attack had come from. Echo also headed up the stairwell on the opposite side looking for any suspicious individuals, whilst Zane dived behind a bar and Pip stood idly by, a little confused. It would seem at that stage that the perpetrators had gotten away, which at that point Sheriff Marco called the six of you into his office, basically sort of grabbing who he could from the crowd. He assigned his hounds, which are now you, there and then, and the prince made note of that he wanted you all to figure this problem out and bring the culprits before him. So, notably, there was a smuggled cell phone that kept Zane's mind interested. I'm pretty sure he mentioned it nearly 100 times, and do we have a count up of that?
Pretty close.
And through his findings, you were able to unmask an Anarch in the midst. Aaron was able to speak to a guard dog about how they missed the device, and he discovered that the Alsatian had been on drug duty earlier in the day. Pip, the librarian, seemed to be the odd one out during all this. The interrogations and all that were new to him, and he is also the newest to the kindred life. The sheriff asked that you take him under your wings and give him aid. The sheriff also gave you another man to interrogate, who turned out to be a sniper for the Sabbat. After his erratic answers, Echo staked him through the heart with one of her stilettos, leaving him in torpor for the time being. You guys then made plans to get some camera footage from the building. It was only external, and it was on video drives, which was going to take you a little bit of time.
7 hours, wasn't it?
7 hours.
Thereabouts.
Yeah, give or take. You decided then roughly what to do with the captives. I believe you were thinking of taking the Sabbat with you and leaving the Anarch here in the quote-unquote dungeons. Jackson's guards had also sort of been given the instruction to question their remaining invitees and their plus ones. So the sheriff basically, I think he gave Jaxon a position of a key,
Yes.
where you can find a kindred safe house. He said that where the key was, you would get a piece of paper giving you the address. And that would leave us at 4 hours of night one having passed as we continue.
I think where we finished off was Jaxon leaving that phone call and heading back to the office.
Correct, he was on his way back to the office. So yeah, 4 hours of night one. Here we will continue this tale of blood and belief. Leave it up to you. I will say back in the room with, I believe it's Aaron, Echo, and Pip in the room with still the two prisoners at this point. Jaxon, you're on your way.
I would like to frisk the two fellas
You would
that
like
are... Pat them down.
Getting all frisky up in here.
Check their pockets.
You're going to check the pockets of the two fellas. So, who are you going to first?
I will go to Singh first.
Going to go to Billy Singh first. He is still tied to the chair. He is in torpor because of your stiletto sticking out of his chest. It will be, you're going to, and I'm not going to make it a very high difficulty because it's pretty easy. So, intelligence investigation, please.
Oh. One success.
One success. you go to sort of move him about in his chair, and he's tied very tight. It's hard to get into any of the pockets that look like they'd have anything there. With that roll, yeah, you can see there's possibly something in a pocket, but hard to get at anything with him tied down. He's tied very tight.
I want to move to, what was it, Tim? Tim,
Yes.
should I make the same one roll again? Or?
Absolutely. He is awake, and I think he's not even tied up. You guys have pretty much just barricaded him there.
He was intimidated last time when I left the room anyway.
Sitting down, fretting on the floor, basically. So instead of actually you going through him, you can ask him if it's up to you, unless you actually want to frisk him down.
Pip, would you do me the honor of looking in this man's Tim, would you mind if Pip here looks through your pockets? Checks for anything?
I mean, I don't have anything to hide, I don't think. It's just my keys. And he puts his hands up, sort of holds his hands up as he sort of stands to his feet, still bleeding down the side of his face.
No worries, Miss Monroe. I'll check him now. Pip goes over and starts checking his pockets and stuff.
Yep, if you're going to search quite thoroughly, same thing, or intelligence investigation, but he's been quite open about his pockets, but...
Three successes.
Nicely done. So yeah, you find his apartment keys in his pocket, and you would assume his apartment keys. They're a set of keys. It looks like a car key and a house key of some description. Definitely to more of an apartment building, which I believe Zane would have dug up in his phone search anyway. The key for the vehicle is obvious because it has the logo of a expensive, I don't know if I can say the actual name of the vehicle, so expensive sports car.
I'll keep these with me. Miss Monroe, I really like your work, both here tonight and, I feel like we probably should stick the shoe in this fella too. I mean, you'll be off balance if you have one shoe and not the other.
Maybe we'll wait till, Aaron, what do you think?
There's still the steel pens on the table?
Correct, yeah, they're like a ballpoint pen, but they're a nice steel casing with the sort of rubber finger holds on them.
I hold both of these up, and both of them up, and I go, well, we could always replace your stiletto with one of these and then use the other one on Tim or James or whatever the hell his name is.
It's Tim, it really is.
Yeah, it's Tim.
And Pip, you would have also found his wallet. No identification in it. Obviously, you guys are trying to keep it as secret as you can. But it has a few $100 bills.
Ooh. I'll hand it over to Aaron.
More the point, it had a few $100 bills.
I'll hand it to Aaron, seeing him as the point of authority in the room at the moment.
Yep,
the other guy was okay when we pulled the thing out of his chest, so he'll be all right, and then he won't cause us any trouble.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go over, yank out the stiletto, throw in the pen instead.
just a dual swap. Yep.
Yeah, just boom, boom. Okay, that guy's done. Go over to Echo and go, I could have it cleaned for you, but here you go. You want it back?
Thanks.
Well, next time, use a pen. And then I go over to Tim and I go, so Tim, how do you want to do this? The easy way or the hard way?
What's the easy way?
And I jam it through his chest.
Right as you do that, Jaxon, you walk in the door as you see this happen right as it's happening.
Saves me a job. Good one. Marco wanted him torpid anyway for the prince, so well done.
What? Oh, I'll remove the pen.
No, put it back. Fuck,
Put it
man,
back.
put it back.
Just sit there.
It's all good.
Yeah. Tim
Right.
drops to the ground too after that pen goes in. He sort of slumps back down the wall to the ground.
I got some more information too, guys. Just give me a second, and Jackson will walk around to the desk, take a seat, go through the drawers, find the key, the note, everything that he needed that was instructed.
He told me there was a push
Is there
button.
anything missing that I was told to look for?
No, so the key is in the desk,
it?
and there is a piece of paper with the key.
And the push
he was
button?
obviously, with the push button. Yep, he was obviously going to hand it to you, but things turned around, so he's had to get you to give it. Where am I? I'm going to scroll up on my notes here because we scrolled down a bit. The address is near the corner of Melrose Street and Flemington Road. For those of you who know Melbourne, that area. If you want to make notes of that.
Yeah, I'll write it down.
Aaron, while he's making notes of that, I guess you would have had a quick look in the wallet. There is an exact of $455 in cash.
While this is going on, I'm kind of loosening the ties on Sing to get into that pocket.
Got his gold. It's not too hard. Doesn't take too much time with your strength. Once you loosen them up, you realise, and as you're moving sort of around over his torpid body, you can feel through his shirt. He has some pretty major scars going on under here. He seems to have, in the breast pocket of his shirt as you're untying things, he has a name and a place written on paper. The name is Sarah Barnett. The place is a little scritchy. It's hard to make out. And there was a time as well. It's written on it like a piece of pad paper, quite solidly with pen. Most of it's sort of smudged in his pocket where he's been sweating, bleeding. But you can see his blood's clearing up. In his pants front pocket, as you remove some of the rope, it's a key ring with 2 keys. It looks to be house keys. Doesn't look like a vehicle. House, building, shed.
No identification on the keyring or anything.
No identification on the key ring. I mean, who does that? Who puts their address and stuff on their key rings?
I do. Anyway, I'll pocket these. I'm gonna pocket these for now.
Right, guys. Sheriff Marco's organised a safe house for us to use as a base of operations, if you will. Make it a little bit easier to keep in contact with everyone. It's not stopping you guys from going back to your own havens, if you wish. I'll certainly be going back to mine at some point. But gives us somewhere to meet and do whatever we need to do safely. I'm organising a couple of my guys to go over and just re-go over the security, make sure it's all up to scratch before we head over there. But I've given Zane the address. He'll meet us over there when he's done with the cameras, hopefully. Not sure how long it's going to take. But Timothy, staying here with the prince. I think Marco said he was either sending someone up or coming up to get him himself.
And right as you say that, Jackson, Marco's 2 men walk in the door. Actually a man and a woman. And they roll in, give you a nod and say, the man says,
awesome.
We're here, pick up that.
He's on the floor, over there.
Excellent. They sort of see the pen in his chest, give a quick nod. Both of them pick him up. It doesn't even take both of them. One of them's got it. As the woman, she sort of picks him up first, no hassle at all. And both of them sort of drag him out.
Sweet.
And they are gone in no time.
And as for our Sabbat friend over here, Miss Van Murray, you said you had a safe place to put him until we have use of him.
Yes, I do.
Right. Just a word of warning, however, Marco did say that if anything were to happen to him aka if we lost him for any reason, that would definitely be on you, unfortunately. So we're going to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen, of course. But if you're 100% sure that what your facility will hold him, I'm okay with that. Otherwise, we can take him back to my building where I have secure rooms to hold Kindred also.
Either way is fine.
I don't think he's going to be going anywhere unless someone comes to get him.
That is the idea. If we hold him, maybe someone will come and get him. They might be missing their little errand boy, potentially.
Jaxon, your radio goes off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're searching through these people, getting some answers like you asked. We are releasing as ordered for ones we have all information on. We have 2 kindred here who swear they saw wolves top balcony. Do you want me to keep them aside?
Roger that. We'll be out shortly.
Would I have one of their radios? Or access to one of their radios?
There is a guard in the room with you. Yes, Jaxon left a man behind, out the door, so you would be able to hear that, correct?
Okay, then in that case, come take photos of faces. Need faces.
You're saying that to the guard next to you?
Yes.
The guard says, you want photos and faces of what?
The people, the hostages, people.
You want to take photos of everyone coming out of the building?
Yes.
Okay. And there's a big box of cell phones and stuff on the way right inside the door there, and he just picks up a random one and says, easy done, and he radios through to his crew to start letting the people out who are going to be let out. And exactly that, Zane, he's taking photos of each one as they go. Being the type of not people you are, there will be some that don't show up, and there's going to be some that don't appear on camera as well as what you might like.
So with that, I'd turn around and say, right, so if Miss Monroe, if you would take Pip. How you doing, Pip? You okay? You were a little off earlier. Just want to make sure you're good, man. You good?
It's a lot to take in, but I think I'm gonna. Yeah, it's going all right.
Good. Would you like to? I'm going to give you a task. Marco wants me to help you out. Would you look after Miss Monroe and help her deal with our Sabbat friend? And while he's saying this, he will actually give a half pie sort of nod wink to Echo while he's talking to Pip. Obviously, ensuring she knows that she's actually going to be looking after him. But and so like, yeah, just make sure that they get to where they need to go, and if you guys could meet us back at this address, which is is a building on the corner of Melrose and Flemington Road. Here's the physical address here, and he passes the piece of paper over to Echo. That's where the safe house is. These are the keys, and he lays out the keys on the desk.
All right.
I'm assuming there's a key for everyone, or is it just one key?
No, there is a key for everyone. There's actually 7 keys because initially he had a larger set of hounds planned, but at this point you only need 2. You will keep the leftovers, Jaxon. Or I assume you.
I'll pocket whatever's left over. So I'll just give the keys out to them. Aaron, if you want to come with me, we've got a potential situation on the front. I dare say you heard the radio call.
Yeah. All right, let's go play.
100%.
All right.
Get it done.
Right, so Jaxon and Aaron, you head to the guards at the front. Echo and Pip, what are your plans before you leave this area? Are you just taking the Sabbat straight out?
I'm going to ask Zane, is he still in the room or is he in the computer room?
He's in the computer room. He can only hear via the radio.
Okay.
He will be on the way out, obviously.
You work at the library, you said, Pip?
Yeah, Monash University Library, yeah.
Do you think they have like a directory there of like a telephone kind of book of places? We might have to do this old school. I want to look up a name there. But I guess we have to secure this guy first.
Yeah.
Pip,
All right.
at the mention of the library, she mentions looking up things. What numbers do you think would be rattling through your head?
Ooh.
I should have prepped you.
Lots of them.
Yeah, all the numbers.
You're trying to pick that Yuri system apart. Numbers, numbers, numbers. You're thinking about what she said to you. And as you do, Echo, you notice his eyes just roll back and they sort of go like the Undertaker. He sort of goes limp. He's still standing, but his body sort of goes limp. And it happens in a matter of seconds. But Pip, during these seconds, you see suddenly like a hazy image. Cream white walls, a light, sort of cloudy light. You see a woman come into view. She's possibly in her 80s, only in a singlet and underwear, and the reason for that is because there's massive metal clamps over her neck, over her arms, wrists, and as you sort of look down around her, down her legs, and more big metal clamps, they're on massive chains. She seems to be chained to a very solid metal frame. She can barely move. She's straining at the chains. Her eyes are wild. She strains more on the chains, and you can hear the creaking of the chains as she bares her teeth. This is not a woman. This is a kindred. An 80-year-old looking kindred-ish. 3 people enter now into the vision. An older gentleman. 70s, maybe? The other 2 gentlemen behind him are in their 30s. They're all wearing black suits, it seems to be. It's hard to tell. They're on the edge of your vision. One of them, one of the younger ones, walks forward and says, "Are you Alyssa Campbell?" She nods. Then he says, "We searched all records of Alyssa Campbell. This is a fraudulent name, and it's one of many that has been created for you since 1859. Jenna Brooks, Carly Aldridge, Callie Jackson, which goddamn one are you?" And she gives no answer. They have a series of handles or switches by the wall. The young guy who didn't speak reaches over. You can't see faces at this point. You just see arms and backs of heads. And they reach out, but you can see this woman as a beam of sunlight focuses down onto her. At this little port, it burns right on top of her shoulder. She screams out as it shreds the skin in that place, and ash and embers glow and flake off. They stop the little beam of light, and once again it says, "Who are you?" And nothing. They open another port of light just over her left breast, and it does the same thing. That embers, the skin burns. She begins to roar, and she calls out, "Okay!" And then the man says, "Who are you?" And she breathes heavy, and she says, "Mary Wade. Finally, some truth. Who sent the invites to this ball?" And he holds up a card, and you can see the card because he is looking at it. It's over his shoulder, and it is the same invitation that you received only a few days earlier. She says nothing, and they open another one of these small light portals, and it's at the nape of her neck, and she screams. It's a duotone guttural roar, as if there are 2 people living inside one. "We can do this a long time, Mary." And they turn it off again. "How do you live now? How do you live looking like you do?" And the vision fades. And Echo, you see his eyes roll back, and Pip, you feel pretty drained.
You okay?
So 1546 340 Mary.
Bingo? What-
Bingo?
What are you... What's going on?
I don't know, we've got a... Where are we going?
We
It'll be
can
fine,
go
don't worry about it. Let's go.
Maybe we... Okay, alright.
Yeah.
We're gonna just... Yeah, okay.
It's cool.
Okay,
It's fine.
we're gonna go to my place and,
Right.
help me lift him and we'll get him in the car.
Yes.
you guys lift Billy out, and we'll go now to Aaron and Jaxon. Zane, we will catch up with you shortly. Aaron, Jaxon, you're heading to the guards. They have 2 kindred standing near them. One is a woman and one is a man. Both of them elegantly dressed. As you approach, your guards have their guns, but they are doing nothing at this point other than idle chatter.
Before we actually get there, I'm going to stop in the dining room area, and I'm going to find myself a relatively nice wooden chair. I'm going to smash it to pieces and break off 2 or 3 decent-sized, steak-sized bits of wood.
Cool.
Just,
Aaron, you're with
just
him?
in case.
Yeah, I'm right beside him. He's going.
Sweet. Both of you spot the...
Pins seem to work, dude.
Pins. Both of you spot the item on the floor, still laying there, the little sort of small orange-sized metal item that set things alight, still laying on the floor where it was.
We have to get someone to look at that thing too.
Yeah, I'm thinking Zane might come in handy for that. I don't really like him very much. He creeps me the fuck out, but...
Yeah, I think he's more, computers. I don't know about
He's good with Google too, dude. I mean, any of your guys got any explosives? I mean, some of my guys have, but...
Yeah, but I don't know if any of them know how to do that type of a thing. I can ask.
I got a contact, and I got a contact with the cops too. I mean, I could probably hit him up later, maybe.
I don't know if the cops.
I mean, he's trustworthy. He's a good guy.
Maybe the fire brigade might be a firebug.
Hey, true. Hey, we'll definitely get onto that. Need to go sort whatever the fuck this is.
Actually, I do know a pyro. He might have some knowledge. I'll ask around.
Shake a few trees, man. See what falls out.
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's go deal with whatever the fuck this is.
You get to your guards. Your main guard, and I'm just trying to solve his fucking name. I'm terrible with keeping this.
Joe for short.
Joe for short. There we go. Joe is there. The towering mammoth of a built man that he is, and he sort of says to you, the woman here, Isabella Price, she owns a beauty boutique in West Melbourne. And the guy, Peter Kerr, he's an architect. He's pretty renowned for around here. He's been around a while. They both say they saw the same thing. I don't know if you want to chuck your questions at them, but...
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What did they say they saw?
They thought they saw wolves, both of them, at the top, the second balcony set.
Wolves or werewolves?
They say wolves. They said it was hard to see.
What size were these? That'll probably give us an idea.
They were vague, but larger than average.
Leave it with us, Joe. Rest of these guys all sorted. You got names, numbers, all the stuff we need.
Absolutely, and it looks like, and he looks sort of, you guys can see sort of down that large banistered dual stairway that goes down to the sort of foyer area. You can see your other guards down there taking photos of them as they're leaving.
What the fuck is that?
Quickly. I reckon that's probably a Zane thing because he's wanting stuff.
I swear to fucking Christ. I'm gonna fucking punch him, I really am.
No, I got the idea he's on the right track because he's doing facial recognition. He needs a face to recognise first.
Does he realise that probably half of those kindred out there won't even show up on the fucking cameras?
Well, there's ways, I've heard. Normally it's the Nosferatu that are able to get that type of information.
Well, they do say that always assume there's one around, eh? I mean, come on.
I don't assume
Sneaky
there's one
motherfuckers.
around. I assume there's a lot of them around.
Yeah, cool. Let's deal with these two, yeah?
Any +1s unaccounted for?
No, it would seem that everyone who came had their +1s, and they were still there at the end. There were a few on your list, Jaxon, that didn't.
Yeah,
but they
actually,
were,
I got
kindred
hang
as
on.
well.
I reached them up and pull out the piece of paper and go through it, and I have ringed the ones that didn't turn up, and hand it over to Joe. Said, "Do you want to get a couple of boys to check these out, make sure they're still around?"
So There's no vampires that are missing. There's no +1s that are unaccounted for. All the staff are accounted for.
Well, we've got a few kindred that were on the list that never showed.
Well,
we need to check out.
If they never showed, they're not within the building. I'm trying to work out
True.
where the fuck these 2 people came from.
Have we fully locked down the staff though? I mean,
Yep.
we have. So all staff are accounted
Yeah. So all the staff that we on use, all the hired help was either kindred or ghoul. And you have all them on your list, and they are all accounted for. Those who showed up, of course. There were some who did not show up, as there always are. You know,
So-
phone and sick.
for. Our would-be assassin is definitely someone on this fucking list.
You would assume.
Yeah,
Or
I wouldn't assume that, because if they're all accounted for, if the list is there, they weren't ticked in, but they were ticked.
They managed to get in somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go talk to these 2.
Ow.
And we'll start. That'll be our next protocol. We'll do a full search of the building before we head out.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna whistle for Monroe to come over.
Yep.
Because I want to by my side.
No hassle. She's pretty much sticking with you as best she can.
Aaron, tell me something. Can Monroe, like, we're talking about fucking Nosferatu, right?
No,
Can-
she
can
can't
she-
sniff them out.
Can't sniff them out? Shame.
No.
That would be really helpful.
Well,
Anyway.
She can sometimes, but
Yeah, well, they are
This-
sneaky motherfuckers.
they are impressive individuals.
Oh, yeah, I've known a couple. Good. Make good cat burglars. Pretty good.
Yeah. Good
Um,
architects too.
yeah.
But-
Anyway, I digress. Joe, would you like to send the 2 individuals into the ballroom? Talk to them in there, separate them from everybody else.
Just did you guys actually pick up that piece of equipment off the floor? Or
No,
did
we
you leave
left it there for now.
Matt, leave it there until we can find someone to.
Just go.
Yeah, we don't want to touch it just in case we destroy any possible evidence.
Noted.
So the 2, what were their names again? Sorry.
So the woman he told you was Isabella Price, and the man was Peter Kerr.
Bella Price and Peter Kerr. So, yeah, so we'll wait for them in the ballroom.
Do we want to separate the 2 of them and
Yeah,
talk
100%.
together, or
And separate them. Oh, which would you prefer, Aaron? Seem like a bit of a ladies' man.
No. I'm more of the. I know what some of these guys would do to try to get out of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really a ladies' man either. I mean,
No, I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm talking about the manipulation. Yeah.
they're cool. I mean,
some of the.
Monroe seems eager to talk to that dude too. So
Jackson, you're aware on your list, Isabella Price is a Toreador, Peter Kerr is a Ventrue.
shit.
Yeah.
I will mention that.
They're dodgy. They're shifty.
Yeah.
They're not.
I mean, they're well
They're
respected.
more manipulators. They're not fighters. So I'm thinking if we divide and conquer, there's a high possibility we won't find out anything because they'll fuck with our mind.
True.
But if we're both there, there's a better chance that if one is not.
Do we want to talk to them separately still though? Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. Both of us talk to one,
Yeah.
and then both of us talk to the other.
Not wrong there, dude. For sure. Joe, hang on a second. You want to talk to the man or the woman? Do you want to talk to Isabel or
We'll go ladies first.
ladies first? I want to send Isabella through. We'll talk to her first.
Okay, sweet as. Send her through to the lounge area.
Yeah.
Okay. And he goes, oh, I assume by radio you've made this call?
And I'm standing right next to.
Oh, you're standing
still
with him?
standing
Okay,
with him.
sweet. Good as gold. So he pops off to get, and like you say, like I said, the group's all dissipated. There's really only a couple of them there, and they're actually over in the far corner. And he goes over to the woman. You see him have a couple of words, and she walks over to you. And as she walks over, you can see she is well held on her composure. Her evening gown is probably among the top 10 of the room of the night. It is all glitz and glamour. There's swirls over sort of the breast area. She's wearing a large black choker with a big red gem in the center, and that big red gem is encrusted with a lot of other smaller white gems, which you would assume to be rubies and diamonds.
So this is the rose, I'm taking it?
She's pretty... yeah, you wouldn't... She's Toreador.
Ventru or Toreador?
She's the Toreador, yeah.
Toreador,
Yeah. Picked it.
You did pick it. She has like
She's a pretty person
that sort of goes around her shoulders and over her arms. And the dress itself is a black with a shocking red to match. And she walks forward, comes up to the both of you and says, yes, you wish to see me.
Please, take a seat. And I'll pull on the airs and graces and I'll pull a seat out for her.
She and the ball gown she's wearing makes it very hard to sit, and she sort of side saddles the seat just very ever so carefully, and she says, thank you, kind sir, and I take it you want to know what we saw.
Yeah, obviously you're privy to what's happened. You were in the ballroom, you all saw it. Pretty scary stuff, and the prince is not happy, to say the least.
Oh, I can understand.
As it turns out, we're in charge of investigating this little incident. So all the information you can give us would be very, very helpful.
Well, I can tell you plain as day exactly what I told your tall, handsome friend over there. We were watching the speech like everyone else. The speech came to its end. There was a flash of something, and as I turned, the metal object flew straight past me, and I don't know what happened then. There was the flash of fiery light, and as I turned away thinking it was going to be some sort of, I don't know, weapon to destroy kindred in their reality, I faced the rear window at the top balcony where I was, and it's at that point I saw what I believe to be a wolf, a large wolf, and I can only assume, as what I imagine you're assuming, that it would be one of the shapeshifter kind.
When you say large, how large would that be?
She holds her hand up just above waist height and says, it was on all fours, and it was like a small pony.
Is large. At this point, I'll nod to Aaron. What do you make of that?
Could be one of... Yeah, I don't know. Don't know if it's one of my clan.
Too big to be one of yours, or
too small?
Too small.
We walk when... normally happens when they go feral. And they're big.
Well,
I'll actually point to a scar that goes from my ear down, my throat, and go, this was just one claw from one guy. So yeah, they're big.
Right. And you say you saw two of these creatures?
Oh yes, that was when Peter, who was standing a couple of people behind me, he called out a wolf, and a bunch of the rest of them sort of just ran. They didn't even look. He ran at the creature, and that is when I saw the other one. I believe you, and she points at Aaron, I believe you were just coming up the stairs, because then there was just another flash of light and the window smashed, and I think both wolves jumped out the window, but it was quite chaotic, I must say.
So the object that went downstairs and tried to set everyone on fire came from behind you?
Correct, yes.
And you were on the third story, or the second?
The second balcony, story, correct. Yeah. The third story. Yep.
That seems to coincide with what you told me after shit went down. With what you saw.
They took out the window, but when I saw them, they weren't in wolf form.
They were already on the ground too, weren't they? And down the street.
Yeah.
What you said. That's a very short space of time for them to.
It was quick. They were very quick.
And there's rope at the window, so they didn't jump.
They rappelled down.
This is really odd. I mean, if they were in wolf form, if they are shapeshifters, they were in wolf form in the building. Turned to human form to rappel down the building, and managed to cross that distance in a matter of seconds, minutes.
That's the thing. And I bring out my feral claws, and I go, with these, I could go down the wall without a rope. So
this is all. I'm a little confused, really.
She looks at you guys and she says, "I didn't say they went out the window. I said that's when the window smashed."
Where did they go?
So where'd they go?
I don't know. The flash of light, the window smashed, and they were gone. I didn't see where they went. You're making the assumption they jumped out the window, but I don't know. I did not see that. I just saw a flash of light and the window smash. The wolf would not have been able to hold something that would have made the window or the flash of light to smash the window. I'm not sure what the light was.
Guard dogs?
Window. We need to check that window, see whether it was broken from the outside or the inside. That'll give us some idea of what happened there.
Do I remember? Was the glass more on the outside or more on the inside?
The glass was more on the out, like it would have been blown out. So the glass was more outside.
The explosion was from the inside out.
You would think that it definitely would be the inside out. Yeah. Scorch marks on the inside.
Miss, do you remember anything else, Miss Price? Anything at all?
I've told you everything I told your handsome friend Joe over there.
I'd take him with young Joe.
Oh, if only he was, something I could sink my teeth into.
Unfortunately not.
Yes. Oh, I know. I can smell it. But nonetheless, are you happy? Are you done with me?
If that is all you remember, then please, I'll see that Joe escort you out.
Thank you, kind sirs. And she sort of puts her gloved hand forward on nice lace black and red gloves.
I reciprocate and give it a polite shake.
And she does the same to Aaron as well. And then
I deferral my claws. Shake her hand.
Sweet. Okay, and then
and as she steps up, gets up and moves towards the door, Aaron will come through. Joe will come through. I'll radio to him to send the other dude, Peter.
Sweet.
I don't get this.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
I'm wondering if it's actually an implanted memory?
Could be. Possible. I mean...
Because it doesn't make sense. 2 wolves, an explosion, and...
Then they're gone.
The wolves were the explosion.
You have to go through that guest list and find... unfortunately, as much as I hate assuming anything, but we're going to have to isolate the gangrel on the guest list.
How many of us were there?
I'm not entirely sure offhand, but it was it would have been a number of gangrel here, I'm assuming.
I can get you that number when you need.
Yeah. I'll definitely get Joe onto that. We'll get that number. I mean, we're gonna have to go over this guest list and the plus ones anyway.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And before we get to the second person, we'll jump over to Zane, who's patiently waiting in the video room. We'll do around the room. We'll go to Zane, then he comes back to you guys. Zane, you're in the room with the videotapes. The guards out the door have been taking photos for quite some time, and one of them actually comes back into you and says, hey, Zane, you were looking for some of these before, and he hands you some extra cables. He says it was amongst some of the photography equipment and crap here. This might speed up your process.
Awesome! Starts plugging them all over the place.
Sweet, so he's giving you some extra cables that will link video to your laptop, which will mean you can do triple what you could do before. So it'll soak that 7 hours quite lightly, like most down to about 2 to 2.5.
Awesome.
Sweet. And what are you particularly doing at the moment, Zane?
Making sure I don't lose any data between transfer and cross-referencing the faces that are on the camera with the photos that I'll eventually get, I categorize them and all that.
Sweet. So the photos that the guys are taking out, you're going to load onto your laptop as well.
Yep.
So what they would be doing too is some people will be coming to the door to collect their electronic goods. If it is one of the ones they're using, they bring it into you. You quickly download the files. And then they hand out the camera, and they're going to. So you're getting a few files at once. You're getting a bit of like a file dump.
Yep, that's cool.
And do you want to? Are you able to do any cross-referencing right away, or are you happy just ticking along?
Ticking along.
Good as gold. Is there anything you'd like to do before we depart from you?
Nope.
Sweet as. Very good. Echo and Pip. You would definitely be in the downstairs foyer by now with your subdued person if you wanted to get that far, if you didn't have anywhere to go on the way.
Pip, did you want to stop anywhere before we go?
No, let's go where you need to go. And he's sort of like distracted, and he's muttering to himself, oddly Mary White or cream and shade, in 1800s made, torture Campbell still, older still, they shan't stop till they've had their fill. It's madness, but there's logic in it, and you piece it together and it'll make sense, like a Jenga tower, but people are pulling pieces out. No?
What's Jenga? Maybe we should go to the library. I have a name to look up, and maybe you can look up Mary? Or do you want to split and do that? Maybe some nursery rhymes. I don't know what you need.
Let's take Sing to the place and then to the library. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to my yacht.
Yeah.
I'll get Bishop to drive us. So we're gonna try and make it to my car, where hopefully Bishop is, and he will take us to my haven.
Okay, so your car is. Would you like to enlighten us on what your car is, or what it looks like at least?
It is a lovely shade of dark red. Not sure what it is yet, but and it is very well tinted, so no one can see.
Excellent. A sedan style car, station wagon?
Probably like an SUV type car.
An SUV type car, and a dark red, you say?
Mm.
All right. So no hassles. The door guards are able to phone for your car as Bishop, you said?
Yes.
And Bishop, your driver, he drives up to the doorway as you guys are preparing to load your quarry in.
Yeah, one of my guys will stop her on the door and ask her for her address so that Jaxon knows where to find the Sabbat. So the rest of us know where the Sabbat is.
You also have details of Echo as well, but she can give that if she needs.
Well, mine's in about 12 different places, so he'd probably do it just out of habit of going through.
They'll be coming out the
routines.
front way, won't they?
Correct, they were coming past you, Zane.
Photo! Don't forget photo!
Okay. So we're gonna head to my
Echo, the guard at the door lifts the tablet in his hand up to take a click of you.
I do this. So I'm used to paparazzi, so it's like a habit.
Yep. And he clicks and just you carry on.
All right. Pip, have you ever been to a yacht?
No, never.
It's got a full library in it. All my works. You like it. Get in.
The driver, Bishop, gets out and opens the doors. What does Bishop look like, Echo?
Sam Bishop is my assistant, and he does all my stuff for me. So he is driving. He has like sandy blondish hair, 20s, blue eyes, kind of regular stocky build.
And is he just wearing a regular clothing, or is he in some
Casual?
sort of
Yeah,
casual?
because he was my +1, so he's kind of dressed nice, but casual nice.
Got his gold. And so Bishop opens the door for you guys, and you where do you put our friend Billy Singh?
I'm gonna put him in the back, and I'll have Pip sit up front with Bishop, and I'll sit next to Singh.
Okay. Noted. So Pip, you're in the front, Bishop's driving, and Echo and Singer in the back. The doors close, and off the motor clicks, and you guys head off to your yacht, which I assume you'd be round by the port, are you?
Yes.
Port Melbourne?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You head to Port Melbourne to your yacht. We will chop back indoors because that'll take a little bit of travel time to get there from where you are in Northcote. You're looking at about a 15 minute, 20 minute travel time, I believe. If traffic's good.
I'm gonna just kind of talk to Pip about his rhyme. Does this happen often to you? Or is this... I mean, I'm used to Zane and his paranoia with his computer, but...
No, I've never been in this car before.
No, I mean the rhyming with the Mary and the numbers and the...
I don't think so.
This is new, huh?
Yeah. It's been confusing.
So is it every time you get a kind of a number in your head? Is it a phone number or...
No, not phone numbers.
Oh. Because, I mean, I have this name I'd like to look up. It's a Sarah Barnett. Anything going on? No?
No.
All right.
Maybe later.
Maybe you just need a drink or something. Yeah, good. And I'm just gonna talk to him while we go to our thing, if you want to switch back and forth.
If there's nothing you want to discuss.
No, he's sort of in his own head.
Pip, as you sit in the car, you sort of, jabbed in the pocket, and you're like, oh, that's right, I've got Tim's keys. You have Tim's keys in your pocket. Make a note of that.
Yeah.
Back to Aaron and Jackson. Peter Kerr, the man, steps up. Now he's been swapped over with the lovely lady, the lovely Toreador who you had in front of you.
Before he gets Jackson's going to remove the sports jacket, making him uncomfortable and shit. So he's dropping the dress sports jacket, and is now just a long sleeve black t-shirt. Shoulder holster with a semi-automatic pistol will be now fully visible because it would have been under his jacket. And the probably two makeshift wooden stakes just sticking out of his belt, just because he had them hidden under his jacket as well. But he's over the whole nightlife proper thing. It's just not comfortable for him.
Yep. Aaron, you're happy as you are. You're not taking off your nice suit jacket.
No,
you probably wouldn't have been wearing one, I imagine.
No. He was wearing just like a dress type shirt with a tie, and that's it. Probably the tie's loosened off a little bit, but that's it.
Peter Kerr steps forward and he sees the jacket come off and the bits and pieces. He doesn't sit in the chair you've got out at this point in time. He sort of just stays just back from it, and he says, "Oh, I see. So the Toreador gets a good
don't worry about
that jacket off and
no,
guns."
No, it's not that. I'm just not used to this whole fancy smancy bullshit. So I only put it on for these guys here.
Take a seat, Pete.
Just sit down, mate. It's all good.
All right. He relaxes a little bit with that and sits in the chair. He sort of leans forward on his knees. He doesn't sit back on the chair. He's an older gentleman. He looks to be in his 60s-ish. That's his look, but he still looks healthy.
But in saying that, if you bullshit me, then just bear that in mind.
Why would I bullshit you, sir? I'm a businessman.
Saying, I'm kind of over it already tonight. Lots of bullshit. It's all right. I'm a little wide. It's fine. So Isabella told us what she saw, and she said that you attempted to tackle or grab one of these wolves.
Yeah, man.
Is that correct?
We don't want this kind of crap that their scum bring into our territories. And the Prince's speech has just mentioned how half these spineless, gutless cowards around here don't do anything about anything. And I thought, hey, here's a wolf right freaking next to me. I'm going for it. And I did. I jumped at him, but there was that blinding flash of light. The second one, not the one where the firebomb thing went off. Basically, man, I went to go for this wolf. I know it's like a mini explosion, I guess. Not a grenade, something smaller. Flash of light, breaking glass, and I grabbed the wolf's foot, but he just slipped out of my hands. He was strong, mother, very strong. I mean, I'm an architect. I'm not a wrestler or a boxer or anything like that. Yeah, I'm kindred, but that's a freaking shapeshifter, man. And I don't know if he went out the window or down the stairs or what, but he was gone in a matter of seconds.
All right. But at least, I mean, I suppose you did something. I mean, most people were running scared by that point.
Oh yeah, kindred with all these bloody disciplines and special abilities, and what are they doing? Running like sheep.
To be fair, it was fire. I mean, I had a moment, must admit, but got a job to do, you know.
Sure, fire down there, not where the wolf was.
True. Is that everything? You didn't see the other one? She said there was two.
Oh yeah, so right as I was grabbing the one, there was another one just, I don't know, a few meters away from him, pretty close. Not towards the window, sort of back from him. I jumped at the one, and before the light went off, I saw the other, because I could hear people screaming wolf. I believe it was her, actually, Isabella. She sort of said wolf.
Exactly like that. Wolf. I mean,
yeah, you have to, you do have
good.
to excuse me. I've indulged a little tonight in the ways of the human. It didn't react so well with me.
Yeah, well, we all know how that can go down.
Poor guy.
All right. And that was all up on that second floor balcony.
Correct, yeah, up on the top balcony there, yeah.
All right, well, Aaron, unless you've got anything to add, I think we've probably got as much information as we need, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's not making sense to me though.
No, I'm still a little confused.
I can add something if you like.
Any information you have, I mean,
Well,
you
it's
know,
not
the prince will be grateful for any help that you can give us.
That's just personal opinion. Like I said, I'm an architect. Roof
Oh.
level. What's the top of the roof level like? Someone get in through the roof level? And he looks up and you can see all the lighting rigs and all the sort of like anything you'd see above a stage. There's a lot of beams, sort of ceiling rails, metal, sort of links, supports. He's like, that's if I was gonna, and he looks around, if I was gonna stage some sort of attack, it'd be coming from, the roof, somewhere where people aren't going to expect. And we're on the third floor, the balcony, and that's where that metal shard thing come from, that firebomb.
Oh, you saw where that came from? Everyone assumed it came from the balcony.
Oh no, sorry, it came from our balcony is what I'm saying. Yeah, it came from above us.
Above
Someone
you.
could have thrown it from behind me, but it came
Or-
over my head. Over Isabella's
Possibly
head.
could have
and down
came
before.
from above you too.
That's what I'm getting at. Could rightfully have come from there.
Definitely
Just
good to know.
Opinion of an architect.
No, I appreciate it. It'll give us something else to look into, 100%.
Are those lights turned off so that it's reasonably dark up there?
Yeah, so at the moment the chandeliers that are hanging are glowing that soft light, but everything else is all the spotlights and the house lights and that are all turned off.
Once we deal with this, I think we'll have a little bit of a look-see.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think.
gonna activate my what's it called, Eyes of the Beast, and start looking around up there just to see.
Yep.
What I can see.
So Eyes of the Beast is easy enough. You don't have to roll for that. You clear up your vision quite clearly. You can see exactly what he was describing, rails and beams and whatnot. If you want to get a closer look, there is a stairwell type scenario that will lead up there. Not so much a stairwell, more of like a climbing ladder. The old straight up ladder with the hoops around them for safety.
Yeah. I'll just say, yeah, good job, Pete. You actually did something better than a lot of these other idiots.
100%.
And I'm gonna start walking off because what he brought up, saying, that's another way in.
Yeah.
It's got my attention.
Definitely got Jackson's too. I'll probably hurriedly say thank you. Thanks, Peter.
No worries.
You're giving your details to my guys out front. I mean, we do have most of your details. We got your +1. You need to contact
Yeah,
him at some
absolutely.
point.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
Thank you very much for your assistance. I think they're taking photos at the front, just, if you don't mind. Just for, I mean, if
sure.
you're able to show up on photo, I'm not. I mean, it
I am.
consent.
Yeah,
I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
it's fine. My business is all over. You know.
Yeah.
As much as the camera, I hate it.
We know where to find you. If you need to.
Absolutely fine. Glad I could help. And he sort of nods to Aaron, who sort of gave him the first ups as well, and says, "I appreciate you guys." And he looks at your stakes. You know, not going to that extra level on craziness.
I said, unless you give me a reason, it's all good. And I'll actually reach my hand out to shake his hand.
Yeah, he shakes your hand back. Says, maybe I can help you out another time. Let me know.
Will do.
All right, he heads off.
And I will put a radio call through to Joe and the rest of the crew, basically telling Joe, once buildings clear out the other guys, and if you can hang around, lock down the front, and make sure Zane gets to wherever he needs to be. We're going to be here for a little while.
Yep. That's a 10-4, boss. I'll sort Zane out. It sounds like the boys have got him a few extra cables. He's going to quicken up his job.
Good to know. We'll be here maybe another couple of hours.
No worries, sir. Do you want me to let some of the other boys go home and just keep it to a minimum?
Yeah, let them all go. We just yourself down the main door. I think the prince's staff will be taking care of the rest of the building.
Correct. The sheriff, Marco, has actually let us know he's got a few boys on the job still. He's still downstairs in his dungeon office. He says dungeon office sort of as like a snark. in his dungeon office, if you didn't need to see him for anything, but I believe he is under repair.
Roger that. If you think once you've locked everything down, if you think that the princes and Marco's boys have got it, get home yourself.
Will do, sir. Thank you. Yeah, you know where to call me.
That.
So, while I'm walking away, I'm going to pull out my phone and just send Sharon a quick test message asking, is any of the clan working tonight?
So you were texting who? Sharon. Sorry, yeah. Sharon. Yep.
Yes,
I'm with you now. I'm looking at your character sheet.
Yeah.
So it's a text message, right? So don't get an instant text back. It takes a few minutes. She texts back after that couple of minutes and says, "Working where?" ?
And I say that the general area that I am.
She replies with a no one in that area.
Okay. Thanks. And put my phone away.
Sweet. How did you get your phone in there?
No one checks the checkers.
Yeah, Jackson's got his phone too, and as he's walking across the room to catch up with Aaron, Jackson's going to stop and take a photo of the device from maybe 3 or 4 different angles, and a couple of close-ups as well, just for his own records, and to run through his guys at the office at the security company. Some of them have explosives knowledge, being former military, so.
Got his goal. Noted it. You're taking photos and sending that straight away?
I probably would send it to... Actually, I'll probably send it to my office email. Actually, email it to myself, and then I'll deal with it the next day. So
no worries.
Whenever I got back to the office.
Good as gold. Right, so Aaron, you're headed up into the ladder for the rafters. Jackson, are you heading the same way as him?
I'll be following.
Cool. It takes a few minutes to get up in that space. Zane, we'll pop back to you for a moment. Are you any changes in where you are headed?
What I should have started it earlier, but being who I am, I decide I'll activate Sense the Unseen.
So you've got about 50% of the group all out the door now. So Sense the Unseen, and you're looking at everything as you're waiting for your downloads to happen.
Yeah.
Yep, you're not seeing much in the way of Sense the Unseen. You, as far as you can tell, everyone seems to be in a normal viewpoint, a normal mode. Had you activated that earlier, you might have spotted Tim.
Hey, that's not my job. I'm here for something else.
He would spot one of my guys standing in the office with him.
Okay, description of that person?
He is Nosferatu.
Okay.
You would definitely see him though. So really creepy looking dude, about 5'2", hunched over. Yeah, he's pretty gnarly looking.
That is what you see, Zane. The guard in your room, not as handsome as maybe you first thought. He is a creepy looking, hunched over Nosferatu.
I look up. Look up. Not say a word, just keep going.
Probably wouldn't react to you either.
But yeah, I'll just keep watching what goes out and.
Sweet. The first videotape comes to its end. You get that dun and you hear it auto rewind. Bzzz. You've one videotape has been fully loaded. That means the second and third can't be far behind.
Yay!
Nothing else you'd like to do, Zane?
That would be it.
Righty. I will let you know if since the Unseen stays active, right? So I will let you know if you see anything else. With that, Echo and Pip, you would be roughly about this time after some of that questioning, be drawing near the area of where you are residing.
Pip, I have an idea. How good are you at lying?
I mean, I haven't really had much need to, but I can try.
Okay, something tells me you'd be really bad at it. But we're going to try to do a little bit of manipulation on this Mr. Singh. Okay? So just when we get there, whatever I say, if I give you like a wink, it's not.
Can he feel anything? Like if I... And he slaps him in the face.
I guess we won't know until we wake him up.
And when he slaps him,
the
face just sort of goes and just stays to one side.
Maybe, well, I mean, he looks pretty roughed up already, so yeah, I guess it's okay.
And the vehicle pulls into the docking harbour.
Okay, so mine's the siren down on the end. If we can just haul him up there, we have people to help, and then we'll get rid of him. So we're gonna try and haul his butt. He's pretty light. He's a little guy, right? So.
Yeah, he's not huge. He's just sort of average Joe-ish, 5'8", sort of thin but wiry build. Yeah, not too hard for you guys. I mean, especially between two of you, not a hassle at all with the strengths that you have.
And then once we get on, Pip's gonna see that it's like a writer's luxury haven. It's like mahogany everywhere and books, and it just looks like a writer's paradise inside. And we're gonna sit him in the chair in the kind of like a living room area.
Did you say the boat was called the Siren?
The Siren, yeah.
Good as gold. And you sit him in a chair in the living room area. Do you tie him down?
Well, he already is loosely tied, yeah. So
okay.
We didn't take the ties off.
To get him out of his chair, they would have had to come unbound, but I'm going to assume you bound him back up.
We're going to bind him back up.
No problem. Yeah, you sit him down in a chair, you bind him up, and it's over to you.
I'm going to take the pen out of his chest and kind of wave my hand in front of him and say, Sing, You remember me, don't you? It's your friend, Echo, and I activate awe.
Yeah. Okay. So do I have to roll something against the awe?
It's just that they feel drawn to me and more inclined to agree with me.
Okay.
If he wants to fight it, it's composure intelligence for you.
Composure intelligence. He opens his eyes slightly, and he looks to be somewhat. There's no blood flow anymore. Somewhat stitching back together ever so slowly. And I know what he got, and you don't. I love secrets. And so, what do you say to him?
I say, Sing, I'm your friend, and this is Pip. We're with your organization. You remember us?
He looks at you. He looks at Pip. Maybe, I don't know.
I remember Sarah Barnett.
I haven't met her.
But you're supposed to meet her, right? What time is that again?
I wrote it on my pad, I can't remember.
Is that the only thing you use as a pad? No email or phone?
Who'd you say you're with again? Where?
I'm Echo. This
Echo.
is Pip.
He blinks a couple of times. Sort of tries to shake whatever crustiness is in his eyes from the blood that it's dried. He looks over at Pip again. Back to you. If I was trying to find information on what someone had written on a pad, I'd go to the pad, do a rubbing or something.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, you kind of bled all over it, so... So what's next for you? Meeting Sarah? That's it?
Yeah, would have probably got a job. That's how I get my work. He starts saying, Echo, Echo, Pip. Alright.
Yeah. Pip, and I'm gonna hand Pip the paper. You think you could do that for me with the rubbing?
Yeah.
And just do it in another room away from him if you can. There's pens in the hallway. And you know they're gonna kill you, Sing.
That's what they always say, and yet I'm still here.
I'm gonna leave you here for a while, and we'll be back. And I leave him tied, but move over to where Pip is in the hallway.
Okay.
So Pip's done the rubbing. I don't know whether that.
So, Pip, you will roll intelligence and investigation for me.
That's 3 successes.
Very nice. You get your, what would I would assume being a librarian, you'd carry a pen or a pencil. Take a pencil and you try and make a rubbing on it. Just before you sort of get too far, you realise it's rubbed off what it's on this paper, and trying to rub over it, you're not going to see much. If you could get the indentation of the rest of the pad, whatever pad this came from, you could get it quite clearly. But on this piece of paper, it's been folded and crumpled in his pocket, probably not so much. You're probably going to have to find out where this guy comes from.
No good, sorry, Miss Monroe. This piece of paper's seen better days.
And I'm gonna go back to Sing. Where are you staying, Sing? Can't seem to get Sarah Barnett's location. to help with the next contract.
Oh, she doesn't give a location. She always meets in a different space, from what I understand.
You know these spaces well?
No, this is my first meeting with her, but I wrote down the time and the place I would meet her.
And what happens if you lose that paper? What do we do then?
Oh, I'd go back to my apartment. I've written it there. I paid as well.
Oh, where's your apartment at?
And you still have Aura up?
Yeah,
Oh, he's
And
fighting.
I rolled, I got 4 successes.
Okay.
I can go there, make sure that it's not compromised for you.
You know, you've been there before. You're part of my team, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Same place on. It's in Carlton area on Moore Street, and he sort of says, "This feels wrong."
Yeah, it does. I'm gonna take a look around and make sure no one else is here. You sit tight, thing. Look, be tied up for now.
Can't you let me free?
I will once I make sure it's safe.
Yeah, I've got to finish my job. I don't like leaving a job unfinished.
Yeah, if you can remember anything else, you need to let me know.
You'll need my keys.
I think I already got his keys, didn't I?
You got his keys, but he's saying you'll need his keys.
Okay. I got him right here.
He looks at the keys and goes, he won't get far without the other.
Where do you keep the other?
If you work with me, you know.
Oh, no. Yeah, but, there was that night we got drunk, and I don't remember very well.
Remember, Singh, she's a Malcav. She can't keep anything straight.
Malcav. He looks back to Pip. He struggles in the ties. I've got to get out of here.
Shit.
I'll get you both to roll. Oh, man. I'm going to say what's an awareness?
It's not very good. Oh, 3.
3. Pip.
2 successes and a bestial failure on my blood die.
Ooh. 2 successes beats the bestial failure, though, I believe, so. No,
No,
am I wrong?
he still gets hungrier.
Still gets hungrier, okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So, you feel the beast stir within. This is a fairly new feeling to you. Your blood just... You can smell everything around. And it's really unfortunate that there's no human present, because you are feeling hungry. Gain 1 more hunger. You're kind of tired of just waiting around. There's a librarian persona. There's more to you than this.
Gotta hurry.
Yeah, you want to run your hands over his body and find where this damn key he's talking about is.
Just sit there, Sing. And he's like, and people just like start rummaging around a bit forcefully.
With that roll, you feel, on his skin, you feel the scars that I mentioned earlier, Echo had felt over his scars of his shirt. And because of the hunger, you actually ripped the shirt open, and he has some nice scars, man. He's on his left shoulder, like bullet wounds, knife wounds on his back, bullet wounds, maybe some lacerations from something else. Then his left leg, and there, as you're sort of tearing the back side of his pants open on his left leg, there's something buried in one of those scars.
Oh.
I want to dig in.
With your fingers?
Yeah.
Excellent. You dig in with your fingers. I want you to roll a rouse check for me as you dig in with your fingers as well, because now he's bleeding fresh.
So how do I do that?
Single hunger die, dude.
Yep, thank you.
All you gotta do is get a success or a nothing.
Nope. Another bestial failure.
Oh!
Hunger increased again.
Your hunger increases. What's your hunger at, Pip?
3.
Bestial failure. You tear into his leg. You see this little... It's a box of some description, but the smell of even the kindred blood now is really appealing to you. You're salivating. You're hungry, if you could salivate. You are really, really hungry for this blood. The little box you've torn out, the blood is all over your hand. You are tempted to lick that blood off your hand, man. It's really... The smell, it smells like a really freshly cooked meal, something you would love to eat. And he is dripping fresh, well, kindred blood, I guess. Yeah,
Vitae.
Vitae, that's the word I'm looking for. He's dripping fresh Vitae on the floor. He made a bit of a groan as you pulled it out, and it wasn't a happy one either. He felt that. You've pulled more of a chunk of meat and skin than probably what you needed to get this container. This is a... Echo, you would see this more than Pip. Pip's more worried about the blood. This container is a brass container, and it seems to be thin, very thin, but it's hinged at the back. It's kept well and shiny within the blood, but it is in Pip's bloody little hands.
All right, Pip. Get to the car. We'll head off. You're obviously needing a bite to eat.
Later starts.
Oh, my carpet.
Oh,
okay,
he licks
go.
his fingers.
Yeah. I don't think he'd be able to not.
Sweet.
Go ahead to the car and I'll clean up. I'll be right there.
Yeah, licking the fingers not enough to do anything, but it's actually driving that hunger that just won't go away in your back of your mind. It's all you can think about is where you're getting that next meal from. Echo.
I'm kind of guiding Pip out the door. Shut the door. I say, sorry, Sing. I sent you something. And I'm going to clean up the mess and then follow him to the car.
Sweet. You're leaving Sing there?
Yes,
And have you got a space you're going to put him in?
I do, but I'm trying to get Pip out the door first, I think.
Okay, so you've left Sing at the
So,
chair?
yeah.
Cool. Okay, I've got his gold evil. Sweet. So you get do a sort of a quick cleanup, get Pip out the door. You have the container in your hand?
Pip does, I think.
Pip does, right. Good as gold. You're heading with Pip to your vehicle, I take it.
Yes. I'm getting out the door. Getting Pip in the car. Don't look at Sam. No. Sam is my assistant. No. And we're gonna swing by one of my little bookstore places for him to get kind of like one of my fans.
Okay.
To come to the car.
Sweet. It's late evening. Bookstore places. When I say late evening, you're looking at, what are we? 6, 7, 8, 9. You're looking at nearly midnight now. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty hard pressed to find a bookstore open unless you
Yeah.
have specifics.
Is there all-night libraries, you think?
Library Pip works at is open until 1.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there you go.
We'll head there.
All right, so you guys get in the car. Pip, the driver looks rather like a good snack. I want you to Is the driver a ghoul or a kindred, Echo?
He's my ghoul.
He's a ghoul. Okay, so he's not human though, so that's fine. Pip, I'm not going to make you roll again just now. If it was a human, I would. You can smell the difference, but you are very hungry, and he is looking like a tasty morsel. You guys get in the car and head off to the library. What area of Melbourne is the library, Pip?
It's in Caulfield, so it's on the other side in the CBD of Melbourne, pretty much.
Oh, Jesus, you've got another 20 to 30-minute trip, huh?
Yeah.
On this, as you guys sort of pull out of the dock parking, the wharf area, on the street, you can see, people just leaning on posts, having smokes. There's the odd back alley area there, and they all look extremely tasty, Pip. This car's traveling at a reasonable pace, but you want to get out. You want to eat.
Do I notice this of him?
Oh, hell yeah, yes.
Okay. Pip, do you have a personal preference? Like happy people? Thugs?
Usually sleeping people.
Where would I find sleepy people? I'm gonna have Sam drive. Yeah, the library.
Anyone would do right now, though.
I'm gonna try and find like a kind of a homeless, kind of a sleeping person on a box somewhere secluded.
And it's late at night. It's not hard to find a couple of secluded people. And I'm thinking homeless person standing in front of like a 40-gallon drum with a fire going in it, the odd one or two here, someone with a paper bag on a bottle that's having a drink. There's a couple of seedy little alleys in this sort of Fisherman's Bend area as you come out of Port Melbourne. I would say you have an easy chance to pull over. Whether you can find someone, that's up to you guys having a look.
All right, I'm going to teach you how to be discreet, okay? So I'm looking for the nearest kind of homeless person in the nearest dark alley.
Cool.
And I'm going to activate awe when I find one.
Okay, it doesn't take long to find a young, mid-20s looking man, ragged clothes. He's got a beanie on. It's the old bottle in a bag scenario. It's not the bottle you think though. He seems to be sniffing glue. He's on his own, laying down in this sort of trash in the alley.
Hey, can I have some?
Oh yeah, dude. There's plenty of glue to go around, right?
Of course, lots of craft supplies. You want to go over this way with me?
Yeah, where are you taking me, lady?
I just want to go where it's dark. Friends I don't want to see,
I haven't got lucky in a while. Are you up for a bit of this and a bit of that?
Oh, so much. Mind if my friend comes with me?
Oh, a threesome. That sounds absolutely the best. You don't have any food?
Oh, yeah. I've got tons of food.
Yeah, food and a threesome. This could be my lucky night.
It is.
Yeah.
And I lead him that way, and then I look at Pip and just give the motion like, there you go.
Yeah, Pip's not going to waste any time. He is really, really hungry.
So you're just going to jump on him?
Yep.
Sweet. Crikey. Right, so.
Feeding time.
This guy's. Sorry?
Feeding time.
Yeah, feeding time in the zoo. This guy's pretty fucked up already, and I'm not going to make you roll any test to grab and jump him. It's easy enough done. Whereabouts are you going to bite him?
The neck, because I assume Pip would think that's where it happens.
That's the place. Are you trying to be stealthy at all about it, or are you just going headlong?
I think the beast is too
headlong.
much now.
Echo's trying to say, quiet, quietly.
All right, you chomp into this dude. I will get. No, I'm not going to. He's fucked up. He sort of drops to the ground. He drops that sort of bottle of glue and its paper bag, and he's like, "Oh, easy, man. Oh, leave a bit for the lady, eh? Hey, oh." And he starts to sort of feel a little bit woozier than what he did. You are feeding.
Yeah.
How now? From my mind, how many points of hunger do you gain from just a single feed? Or do you ungain?
Help us out here, Magic. This is the first time we've had a feeding on our show. Anyway, I'm not 100% sure how it works, to be honest. So any help would be a
Depends
good
on how long he feeds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just how many points do you want to take off? You can
Okay,
only
so
go down to one.
he can choose. He can choose if he wants to take 1, 2, or 3. If he takes 3, he's actually going to kill the bloke.
Ah, right, okay. So it's
Because
your choice, Pip.
It's the only way that you can go down to 1, below 1.
Fully
You actually
slate,
have to kill.
Echo's softly trying to like mentor him, but I don't know if he hears or not.
So
I'm
he'd
like,
go straight to the edge, and I'm guessing Echo is probably gonna.
So you're going to go for the 2 points, and Echo's going to try and pull you off at that time. I want to be strength you two because I feel like it's going to be a struggle to get Pip off. So be strength. I'll say strength athletics versus strength athletics. Would you guys agree?
Yeah. Or strength and brawl, probably.
Strength brawl, actually. Yeah, just saw that too. Strength brawl versus strength brawl.
It depends on the beast as well.
1.
None.
None. He's so
Not
lucky.
very strong.
So lucky that Echo got 1. Yeah. You reduce him to nigh on his last breath, and then she finally gets you off. You're sort of clawing back for more, but this person is unconscious but not dead, still breathing on the ground. Because you've pulled him off, Echo, too, the bite marks haven't sort of been covered up very nicely. There's a bit of the blood sticking up his neck.
You can't just drain him dry. You have to leave a little bit, okay? So, otherwise we get in trouble. And I'm gonna try and, I don't know if I can do anything about his bite marks, but
Yes, you can.
if I can, I'm gonna lick it and kind of smooth it over.
Yep. So you would know what to do. That's correct. You using your own ability, you'd sort of take that same space. Don't take any blood, but you're just sort of giving that quick heal over, or the closure of that wound in particular. This person is out. He's probably not going to remember much because of the glue, you'd hope. The glue, which is laying only a foot or two away.
Yeah, magic. There's an ability where you can kiss and it will heal the bite.
That's it. Yeah.
And Echo's gonna leave him some money, like about $50.
You
in
just
his
poke
pocket.
$50 in his pocket. Okay.
Get some more glue. All right, Pip, onward.
Pip's hand.
There is a thing, however, because this particular victim is high on glue, Pip will also be high.
So yeah, I was about to hit that. Thanks, Jack. Thanks. Pip, you and your hand has still sort of got a bit of dry blood on from where you were poking around inside Billy Singh. This guy was huffed up, man, and you are now feeling those effects as you can feel the blood, the warmth of his blood inside you, and you start to sort of see that spacey sort of starry motions around the edge of your eyes. You feel really lightheaded, almost to the point of vomit, but not quite. You've got that real dizzy, lightheaded feeling. Everything smells like glue too. Just imagine like opening a bottle of like paint thinners or something. You've got that smell in your nose now. That's making you feel pretty lightheaded. We'll hold you at that for now. I don't think I'll make you roll any more on that, but that's how you're feeling. And we will leave you two and cut back to Jaxon and Aaron.
I'm going to show Aaron up a little bit up here with Cat's Grace. So pretty much I'm walking around up here like I'm walking around anywhere else. Just not worrying about the height or where I am, as long as it'll support my weight.
Yes.
Automatically succeed on any dexterity checks.
No worries. It's not a hassle because most of these beams up here are made to take large, heavy lights, and there is a few of them around, and there is metal walkways that are built for the humankind to walk up here. So for you, it's no hassle.
I'm sort of just stepping between the beams, moving around as freely.
So are you looking for anything in particular?
Way that someone may have gotten through the ceiling, as the architect has suggested.
And Aaron, are you looking for the same?
And also any evidence of anyone being up here previously as well. We do know that Sabbat was up here.
Yeah.
Where he was caught.
Be looking at literally starting from one side of the. I'm guessing it's like a catwalk or whatever, and moving straight across.
It'd be fairly strategic.
Just a note too, Pip, you would only get 1 hunger reduced from that because it wasn't your feeding type, I believe.
He's feeds on the sleepers.
Cool. So,
Drago instead.
And Drago. Yeah.
But it'd still be high too. So
yeah. So Jaxon, looking for a way in, way out. I will get you to roll. It's that same old 1A intelligence investigation. Aaron, probably the same for you.
And my intelligence investigation is pretty crap.
If you think of a better way you could do it, let me know. I'm happy because you know your character.
No, it'd be pretty much the same. It'd be intelligence.
It'd be
wits and awareness.
Intelligence or it could be awareness.
Could be. I mean, it's up to you, storyteller. I mean, intelligence and investigation. We are looking for something.
You're looking specifically, I would say investigation, and your choice, either intelligence or wits.
1 success.
1 success.
Well, if it's intelligence and wits. Okay, wait a minute. I've got to add this up again. Because investigation gave me a shit roll. Okay, so that is 3 successes.
3. Right, we'll start with you, Jaxon, with yours. You're looking up and around at the roof area. There's no skylights or anything because the camera would be like, no way is someone coming in through a skylight. That would be too easy.
Why would we have a skylight in the first place?
Yeah, and the sunlight would be the other option. However, you do have darkened windows, mirror reflective windows in the building, so it is possible. However, there is none. There is a ladder at the far corner, but it goes up to a solid panel that has been welded off. It would have been when the building was originally built, would have been an access hatch, but it is welded. That is all you find. Aaron,
so those welds are solid?
Those welds are solid, yes. They haven't been. Basically, the building was vamp-proofed, I suppose you would call it.
Okay.
Aaron, with your skills, you're looking around that rooftop for something, and you don't spot an entrance or a way in or a way out. You spot something taped to the inside of one of the angle iron beams. You open it up, it seems to be the piece of a weapon, and with a little more of a look around, another piece about a few meters down the way. And as you point that out, Jaxon, you're coming down the ladder to that hatch you've just checked, and Aaron points out another piece of a weapon tied to the back of the ladder you've just come down. Your hand would have just missed it as you reached onto the ladder.
I'll grab it.
3 parts of a weapon between you.
Here's a look at those.
Wait, what is it? Is it like a rifle parts?
Yeah, it seems to be rifle parts.
I thought the sniper's rifle was collected.
It was.
A sniper rifle was collected, yes.
I don't know if this was the sniper rifle, but a weapon was collected. Marco's here for a second, and I'll assemble it.
Okay.
As I am an expert in firearms.
You are an expert in firearms. I'm in the wrong page. You piece it together. It's quite simple, and you've seen a weapon like it before. It's an older model, well, not ancient, but it's an older model from a few years ago. It is a KPB instrument, VSK 94, and it's actually got a 4th part somewhere.
There's a part missing?
There is a part missing.
Did you say VSK?
Yep, VSK-94.
This isn't all of it. There's another part somewhere. I'm going to start searching around and find the other part.
Yep, so you guys will be making a similar roll for looking for that last part.
Now that we know we're looking for something specific.
So what part exactly
which part is missing?
So you've found the 3 pieces that you found are the stock, the mid chamber part, and the barrel, but it's missing the last piece of the front of the barrel, like where the muzzle would be, sort of thing.
So compensator / suppressor.
Yeah, compensating, correct.
And 2 successes on that one.
3 for me.
3. All right, very well. Aaron, this time you don't notice it so much, but Jaxon, you're both sort of scanning that rooftop area, and Jaxon spots it. It's been dropped. It's actually down on the main floor, out of the way. No one would have spotted it behind the bar area. You see the tape where the others have come from. You spot the similar tape, but it's come undone and it's dropped to the floor. It's down in behind a bar.
I'll drop to the floor from where I am.
Sweet.
Should be relatively easy for a kindred from that height, I would imagine.
Fourth piece of the weapon, no hassle, clicks together. That is all of the VSK 94 put together.
Wow. Rounds with it, or just the weapon?
Just the weapon.
No magazine.
No magazine.
Oh, sorry. No, magazine
ammunition.
was in it. Yes. Yep.
Mag was in it.
Magazine.
Is it loaded?
It is indeed.
I'll eject any round that's in the chamber. If there is one chambered, I'll definitely get rid of it.
So, no, because you've pieced it together, you would have had to chamber around. Thank you, Magic. I actually just read that myself. Cheers, buddy.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So you can see it's not chambered around. It is a pretty decent high-powered sniper rifle for this short distance. And looking from where you guys are up here,
it's only a 9mm, but it's pretty solid.
You have perfect view of the lectern area. It's nice and clear.
So I'm gonna, like, we've completed this search up here. I'm gonna go back down. What was the roof made out of?
Sorry, just took a drink. What's it made out of? So it seems to be, it's like a thatching with a proper old school tile on the top. It's pretty solid down under here. There's like a ceiling.
So it's metal.
Yeah, metal. Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Cool. So that means that knocks out some of the abilities I know some people have that are able to actually go pass through concrete. But 2 guns is a bit surprising. So there's 2 assassins?
Potentially.
I thought, like, the prince was meant to be the one that everyone loved, not that everyone wants to freaking kill.
Yeah, well, obviously the Sabbat and the Anarchs have no love for the prince, clearly.
Yeah, apparently. But that, wait a minute, does that mean... Okay, we got one guy, who's the Sabbat guy. We've got these 2 wolves. Were they meant to get this gun?
Entirely possible. Something we're going to have to try and find out.
Is there any serial numbers on it?
No. So you look at the gun and you know guns as well too, Aaron, I guess. There doesn't seem, other than the name of it, any identifying marks have been either removed or welded off or something to that effect.
So it's not traceable that way.
No. I'm going to take it to the window. I want to just basically aim down the window to see what sort of range the scope's got on. Because it's kind of interesting that they're indoors with a scoped sniper rifle, when I would assume the range from the scaffolding to the stage was not great.
It's a fair distance. I think I said in the first game that the length of that lounge hall was a good few hundred meters. It's a massive open space. But yes, when you say about the scope, it doesn't have the scope on it. It's iron sights. The 4 pieces you put together did not include the scope.
No optics.
No optics like that. No.
Was the
just
were we told whether the other one had optics or not?
He didn't say. Marco just said he picked up a rifle. He said a rifle, I believe. I'd have to check the.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did say I wanted to see it at some point. So.
Correct. Yep.
Get hold of that.
This is
interesting.
Strange.
Things are getting more confusing as we keep searching for shit. I mean, seriously.
Do you have any black market contacts? Because this type of firearm is not something you just buy over the counter in
No,
Australia.
it's military.
Well,
It's definitely military. It's weird, and it's not new either. It's fairly old. I mean, I don't think they even make this model anymore.
well, they still make it. It's used quite regularly, but as I said, it's not something you'd get in Australia.
That's true.
Because of, the weapon bans and stuff, but...
Come on, we're kindred.
Yeah,
They
I
give
know,
a shit
I
about
know.
weapon bans.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, it's not something you can just walk into the local gun shop and just pick up.
Oh, 100%. Unless you're looking at converting an airsoft version, but who wants to do that shit?
And you
Someone's
guys coming
got a
back
lot of
down?
time.
You guys coming back down to the main floor as you talk about this?
Yeah. Also, wait a minute. Was the bar that this one found, that the weapon piece found out manned?
Yes, it
During
was.
the night?
Yes.
So when the hell did this fall down, and why the hell didn't someone notice?
How
Whatever
much
it
out of the
was?
way was it? You say it was out of the way. Probably wouldn't have
So-
been noticed.
So the bar's about sort of off the wall, roughly give or take 2.5 meters. There's shelving behind the bar, and it had fallen down and sort of rolled under, like by the back wall. Because of where you guys were above, you were able to see the edging of that piece that had fallen, just because you were looking from where the tape was. So it would have been out of the way if someone wasn't. It was a reasonably sort of low light area, unless someone was looking for it.
Huh.
And on that note, I'm going to flip over to Zane for the last couple of minutes of our game. Zane. Sorry, pal, you've had the most boring job of the night.
Ah, it's all good. I'm exploring my tech, looking for the hidden clues.
You are. The second and the third videotapes have been fully downloaded, and in your boredom time, you've been able to start the first one, as far as you're concerned, through your USB, and you can roll through it. It's piqued your interest, and we'll find out if you can roll and it should be good for you. I'll get you to roll a intelligence technology.
Holy shit. So that's. So with the red die, how many do I use for them?
Whatever your hunger is.
Give you hunger, yeah.
Oh, so just one.
So you replace a black die with whatever your hunger is with red dice.
Okay. That's a lot of die.
Take him out of that goddamn tin.
Thanks very loud.
It's a cardboard.
Okay.
Okay, so 4 successes.
Yeah, so you get curious while you're waiting, and you just roll back a day. There's some preparations going on through that day as you fast forward through. Hello, there's Mr. Billy Singh, entering with a catering crew. He's got a tray, and he's got a bunch of stuff on the tray, and he enters the building. Obviously, there's nothing inside. You see Billy Singh enter. You can scan forward again, scan back, and Billy Singh comes in and out multiple times with the catering crew. And then you scroll forward to the night of the event. You've got just enough to get to the night of the event. And catering crew again. There's Billy Singh again, in with the catering crew. No hassles. He got in.
Cool.
Yeah, that's about the end of what you can see on videotape that you've downloaded.
Yep.
As you scan through. What you do notice, Billy Singh's talking with one of the other catering crew quite frequently. There's no audio here, but you can see him talking with one of them. And then, on the first day, the catering crew person's there prominently. The second day, that same one he was talking to, not there.
Can I see the face of this other caterer?
Yes, you can. You're going to run facial recognition.
Yes. Heading to do that.
Okay. It's a female.
Yep.
She has deep brown to red hair. She is slight build. And as you're running the facial recognition, it comes up with a name. You get the name Jenny Lawson.
Yep.
That is where we're going to end our game tonight.
Awesome, guys. Well done, team. Another Vampire the Masquerade finished for the evening. Wow. Things just keep fucking adding up for us. More questions and bloody answers.
Good.
Which is good.
Plenty of things to do.
Right, so stop this music. Obviously, as we said, we are new to the Vampire Masquerade system, so if we do stuff up rolls here and there, we will endeavour to discuss them after the show and fix them for the next show. So just as a touch on that, Sadiq brought up when using your Sense the Unseen, it's a wits and aspects roll to see if you can see anyone invisible.
Okay, so from what I'm looking at the card, it's the passive doesn't cost.
That's a passive.
Yeah, it's because
But it's a roll against their hiding.
Yeah. Look, okay, so Sense the Unseen allows you to see anything supernatural. That's cool. But the Nosferatu
have an
ability
to hide.
Right, yeah.
He's hiding in plain sight, pretty much. Yep. So you have to beat his hide check.
Okay.
To see him.
So that would have been resolve plus aspects.
Yeah.
For active.
I think I'd put in what it would have been for you in
That's
the
good
check.
to know, though.
Well,
Yeah, it's Aspects versus Obfuscate in the old VTM, so I'm not sure what it is in 5B.
Well, according to the card that I've got in front of me, for passive it's Wisdom plus Aspect. For active it's Resolve plus Aspect.
Yeah, it'd be your wits versus and Aspects versus his. I think it's Resolve and whatever.
Resolve. Yeah,
and
Resolve
his discipline ability.
Is Obfuscate.
Obfuscate, yeah.
So and wits plus obfuscate. I can't even say that without.
Okay. Thanks, Magic.
Yeah, and Baz had to roll
Magic said?
for the Nosferatu.
Yeah.
So just again, little things. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he probably would, for the sake of the story, he probably would have moved, and that's probably what would have gave him away anyway, because they have to be not moving. So
nope.
Yes,
it depends which power he's using there.
It's hide in plain sight. He has to not be moving.
But if it's Cloak of Shadow,
which it wasn't,
he can move. So, as I said, that's
again, it's contextual. So
yeah, you need to know what they were using to counteract it.
But good for those guards who are just NPCs doing nothing, not a major part of the story. It's fine.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, using anything like that would have been using base skills and nothing to flash.
But
it's good. Good work, team. It's good. I want you confused because
Vancouver by night. This is the regular time we do play. We start. We have been running for 2 hours. We've just come to the end of our session, so we started 2 hours ago, and that is every Sunday night our time here in New Zealand, which is early Sunday morning. No sound. Okay, let's type that in the chat for the. Thanks, chat. Quicker than me. But yeah, so we will do our usual. Obviously, we'll get around the crew.
Yes, we shall get around the crew
and get some moments.
We'll do it the same way. Eva, we'll start with you.
Roger. For me tonight, I think it was what was it? It was a moment. Echo. Just the scene with you and Pip in the car, then to the yacht, and dealing with the whole Billy Singh situation. It was a moment there that just actually no, it wasn't. The reaction when Pip did his whole Melcav thing, the Melcav thing and that reaction was great. It was great, crazy. But well done, Grim. The little rhyming poem was amazing, dude. We got a clip of it too, so
Yeah, that was awesome.
but that's pretty much. I mean, apart from that, just the story in general. Obviously, we are learning, so we're going to have these little moments where we're going to be tripping ourselves up and doing things slightly wrong, and we'll fix it up as we go and sort of make the best we can. But I think it's all coming together quite nicely. So
Yeah. Zane, how about you, mate?
Yeah, I have to go with the rhyme, just how Grim handled it. That was awesome. Also, the failed checks and just going after blood. That I loved it.
Once again, you can use your willpower to get rid of some of your other dice, but not the hunger, right?
exactly.
Sweet. Echo.
I like the DMs interweaving the webs of the story together, so there's lots of different avenues that we can pursue, not just one. Keeps us guessing. Of course, the poem by Pip, and I think everybody did really well tonight. So good deductive powers.
Yeah, you guys are finding things. It's good, you're getting pointed in the right directions, and splitting you up is awesome. Not something I'd say in a regular D&D game.
Yeah, splitting the party in D&D is generally not a good idea. So
Yeah, well, in there's one good thing about VTM. We can all be doing something completely different.
100%.
Which makes it actually harder on the storyteller because he's got to do that jump.
Yeah, trying
around.
to keep everyone in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the other thing I forgot to mention too. When Grim got his bestial failure,
Yes.
it was still a success at the same time, which is an awesome thing.
Yep.
So it's just that it went bad at the same time.
Yeah, so hence he found the key.
Yeah, he found the key, but it's like that's bad. But it's a good moment. I'm sitting there going, when he's got what in his leg? What? And then two wolves blew up and turned. What? Damn you, Baz.
I used to watch a lot of Scooby-Doo, and I like red herrings.
Dude, it's like, well, I mean, even just sitting there talking to the two witnesses, and it's like, okay, they're giving us corroborating stories, and then it's like, but hang on a minute, the window blew from outside. It's almost an impossibility that they got from being where they were to outside where Aaron saw them in that space of time. Timing just doesn't add up, even if they are kindred. It's like, what the fuck, man? Where is this going?
It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, it's making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll patch together once you figure it out.
Yeah, and so what's going through my head is they did see something, but they didn't see what they saw.
Yeah, possibly.
I can neither deny or
I don't care if you say it is true or not, but that's the way I'm going. They saw something, but it's not what they saw.
Yeah.
So
Ruh-roh.
yeah.
And Pip, your moments.
So Echo sort of like, I'm doing crazy stuff, and she's like just right back, like without missing a beat. I thought that was great. And Aaron and Jackson's detective show, like it's a detective show, and they're like piecing together the bits and pieces as they go along, and the back and forth, and the chatting about the way things are panning out and the confusion. It's just great. And then poor Zane being bored, but like, he's really enjoying.
I'm not bored.
Doing.
I was doing my techie stuff. Come on.
Yeah, that was just great. Yeah.
Probably watching YouTube anyway, so it does make a difference.
Ooh.
No, I'm watching lines of code streaming down. Got it on my phone going,
like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. And for me, I mean, obviously Pip's poem, that was good, Pip, because Pip had no idea really what I was doing tonight. I just said to him, "What numbers are you thinking? Here's a fucking vision." So, yeah, that was nice to throw him. I mentioned to him I'd like to give him a vision at some stage, but he had no real idea what was going to happen or when. And yeah, I mean, like, it's really hard to pick one moment. All of you are playing so well, and I do feel for you, Donald, playing the position you are. But that will end soon once you've downloaded all your bits, and then you'll become important again.
Oh yeah. Can't
Sweet.
wait.
Otherwise, I had a note down here when Pip first rattled off his numbers, the first set. Yanti went, or sorry, Echo says, "Bingo." that was the first thing that made me laugh out loud. I had to mute. So good-o. Alrighty. That I believe is us, Evil.
Cool. Just reposted that link. Vancouver, thank you. Apparently, Mr. Vancouver by night is going to add us to this particular list of vampire games and stuff. So I appreciate that.
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Wow, awesome.
It's a lot of vampire games.
Yeah, it's a lot there, but any kind of exposure is great. So again, thank you for that. Here's no sound, so I had to type that in chat. But yeah, so guys, we're going to try and run the Vampire Masquerade games at around 2 hours. So we won't take a break. We're just going to run start to finish. And try and keep each episode roughly 2 hours, which will probably help the YouTube views as well. A little bit easier to sit there and watch a 2 hour session than a 4 hour session. Obviously, the VOD will go up in a couple of days' time, so I'll upload it tomorrow afternoon, and it'll become public on Tuesday sometime. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be announced in Discord when it goes up. Always put a link in the Discord. So any views appreciated. Make sure you like it. Hit the bell notification on the YouTube when you sub, so you get notifications when all videos go up. Obviously, and obviously the Curse of Strahd VODs go up there as well. Tomorrow night I'll be back doing some more Diablo. So level 70's out there if you want to do some random shit and just destroy some stuff. Come and hang out with us. We'll do some stream raiders and that as well. Wednesday, Curse of Strahd, of course. Not sure what I'm doing Thursday yet, but Friday back over on Yanti's channel for Ice by Peak. And then back here on Sunday for some more Vampire. So until then, everyone take care. Thank you for hanging out with us. We should probably raid. Where are we? Find all my bits and pieces here. Who is online? Anyone got anyone that they would like to see us raid?
Twin Gats. He's
Is Gats
currently
on?
doing Resident Evil.
Oh!
Resident Evil.
Can't do that. I don't want to see it.
Yes, you do. You know you want to.
I'm not. I don't want to spoil it. Fucking
Come
shit.
on. You want to do it.
I'm not. I can't afford it for a couple of weeks. So I'm not going to. I don't want to spoil it.
I'm gonna play your beast. You know you want to do it.
Fuck it, we'll do it. Twin Gats is a cool dude, so we'll go raid Twin. I'm probably not going to hang out with him because I don't want to see the game. Yep, there he is, Mr. Twin Gats. So yeah, guys, make sure you come back and hang out with us tomorrow. Do some Diablo 3. And then again on Wednesday for some Curse of Strahd. Twin. So if you love your horror games, go hang out with Twin Gats. He is playing Resident Evil: The Village. Looks like it's a pretty cool story too. Until then, guys, catch up. Stay safe. We will see you tomorrow night.